Hey guys, what is up? My name's Matt, charged by Red Bull on Xbox Live. Today I'm doing something a little different. For one, you can see me, sort of. So I got the glare from the computer and my glasses. And for two, I'm doing a review of a controller that I got in the mail yesterday. It's the Scuf controller from Scuf Gaming. This is it. And I'm actually using that as we play. Some of the differences you'll notice right off. One, it's got the green paint on it on top of the regular black. Two, the buttons are all blacked out, including the guide button. Three, D-pad's painted over. And four, this thumbstick looks a little different than this one, just because this one's domed, a lot like the PlayStation thumbstick. And what that is good for is for playing on the higher sensitivities. Like for me, when I'm sniping, I play on 5 or 6, so it allows me to have a little more control over what I'm doing. And right there you saw I kind of knifed that guy pretty fast, and you have these extra paddles down here, which are extra B is this one and extra A is this one. Alright, starting off, first impressions of this controller. I love it. It took me a little bit to get used to, just because I play with my fingers up here like this, but for me it's easier if I play with all 4 or all 3 fingers down here. Gives you a little more control over that, and it's easier. And it took me 3 or 4 matches to get back from this to this. Doesn't really take much. Probably the best feature, other than the battles back here, is these two things. And then I don't know if you guys can really see them, but they're on the inside of the controller next to the triggers. What these do right here is they're trigger stops. They keep you from pulling the trigger down too much, keep you from depressing it all the way. It gives you that extra couple milliseconds in the release and depression of the triggers. And then these things, to tighten down the triggers, actually make it so I have to put maybe that much pressure on the trigger to shoot. Like once it just slight taps. And again, that gives you those extra couple milliseconds of advantage over the guys that you're shooting at. Another thing that you can't see, but I promise it's there, is with this one, the Scuf, it comes in the Scuf Care Package, I think is what it's called. But it's a slip-resistant coating that they put on here. It gives you a better grip for one, and for two, it just makes it so much easier to play for longer amounts of times, because, I mean, my hands get a little sweaty. Slips. It happens. But what do? This stuff makes it so you're not going to slip no matter how wet your fingers are. You could sit there, go wash your hands, come back and play, no problem. Another thing that you can't see, but I promise it's there, is Scuf actually has a thing called, I think it's the no slow turn guarantee is what they call it. And for those of you that don't know what slow turn is, it's the delay between when you move the thumbstick and when the character in-game actually moves. With zero slow turn, the instant you move your trigger is the instant the person moves. A lot of times casual gamers won't really notice the difference, but I was actually doing some game battle stuff earlier yesterday, probably right after I got this, and I noticed the difference big time. But kind of a little bit about Scuf Gaming. While I was perusing through their site, they actually have this thing called the Scuf service. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you saw me talking about it forever ago. I thought it was the coolest thing. They can take a regular controller, and I think it's $40 or $50. They'll actually convert it from a regular controller, add the trigger stops, add the paddles, add all this stuff. Your controller's going to look exactly the same as when you got it, with every addition that this controller has. So it's going to have the adjustable triggers. It's going to have, yeah, I think you can put the dome thumbstick on it. I'm not sure. 100%, don't quote me on it. But, I mean, 50 bucks, it's the cost of another controller, and you're going to get your controller back. But it's going to be so much better. This controller, I think, all in all, cost me about $150. And yeah, it's a little more on the pricier side, but I mean, I always say this to everybody: I know you get what you pay for, and you definitely get what you pay for with this controller. One, it looks gorgeous, and it works phenomenally. They have a bunch of different kinds. They have this one. They have another one called the Reaper. Another one that it was sold out when I was looking at it, but it's called the Hornet, I think. And then they have one for the ladies, or it's not necessarily for the ladies, but they have a pink one. Then they have one that's called Graffiti. That one looks pretty cool. It's black and pink, kind of the same concept as the design on this, a little different, and it's pink instead of green. You can have the rumble packs removed so it doesn't vibrate at all while you're playing. I chose not to, just because I play a lot of single player games as well, and in my opinion, the vibrating controller, while it doesn't really do a whole lot to help you, for me it makes it more entertaining. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I couldn't tell you. But see, you're gonna see periodically, like right there, just the reaction speed that the controller gives you. It allows you to kind of just pop in and out really fast. I was playing survival with a buddy of mine earlier today, just trying to get a feel for the controller outside of a multiplayer thing. And with the adjustable triggers, you can actually shoot a pistol ridiculously fast. It allows you to kind of just cycle through on automatic, so you can do burst fires a lot easier. Gives you a little better accuracy at a distance. I know earlier in the game, when I dropped a guy into final stand, I could not aim for the life of me, but it has been a long day. Let's see here. What else can I tell you about this controller? Being a standard Xbox controller, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it actually says Xbox 360 up there. You can use the puck headset adapter attachment, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure if you can use a chat pad. I haven't tried it, but these might cause an issue. Might block it. So in that aspect, in my opinion, it's a little better than the other ones, like for example the Razer Tournament Edition. It gives you that comfort that the other ones, that the standard Xbox controllers give you. You can go straight from one of those to one of these, not have to adjust to a different controller, not have to get used to the feel of it. And I think it works beautifully. So, since this is my first time reviewing, I'm just going to do a okay, not okay. I love this controller. Best controller I've ever owned, best 150 bucks I've ever spent with regards to gaming. If you guys like this video, go ahead, throw it a like, even subscribe, favorite it. Later, guys.